Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Hey guys, what's up? Jin back with another episode of the Otakuology podcast, best podcast in the world. And as always, with what my buddy likes to say, my heterosexual life partner, Otaku Mike, on the line.
That's me. Not gay, just saying.
So in regards to you being my heterosexual life partner, wouldn't you say technically like our collections are one, even though they're in different locations?
No, I would say no. They're completely different.
I think so.
We're not doing this. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Bullshit.
So, I'll just add what you have to my collection.
But see, if we separate,
still tossing that big dick around.
But if we separate, I get half of your stuff.
What are you talking about? We're never separating.
I'm just saying, if we do separate, I get half of what's yours.
I've already had this talk with Tiffany. We are never separating, and she has to share.
We never signed a prenuptial agreement, so it's okay.
That's fine. We don't have to sign a prenuptial. We signed a heterosexual life partner agreement whenever we started the Otakuology podcast.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about it, that is a little fucked up, though. So every time we did one of the other podcasts, like the stuff on YouTube, technically we got married then as well, and then we got a divorce, and then we got married again. So we must be super fucking in love and hate each other's guts at the same time.
No. We were in a throuple. Then we left.
Throuple at one time.
We were in a throuple. We left. We started another one, and we stopped doing that.
Right. So we've been divorced twice already.
Yeah.
But hey, we keep coming back. So here's the love.
With over 100 episodes at this moment.
I mean, third marriage is the charm, I guess.
I guess so. I guess third time is the charm, to say the least, because this has been our most successful podcast that we have started, and we have not stopped.
I really don't think it's really like a podcast. I think we can just hashtag call it therapy.
I would say kind of a therapy, kind of.
It throws me off because you and I get a kick out of more recording our own shows and then talking about like what we talked about and laughing at ourselves. And then somebody will be like, oh, I listened to the episode. I'm like, what episode of what? Oh, yeah, we do have a podcast that we do.
Well, I mean, you could even consider like that YouTube stuff we did, like not even a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really consider it a podcast because I feel like a podcast is more like this, like audio wise. And, nobody really watches those anyways.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, so here's one thing for anybody that actually listens to our podcast. I will have a video coming out very soon on my YouTube channel that if it gets 1,000 views, then...
What's the name of the channel?
Oh, Jin Graves.
Okay.
Then I will do a collection video on it. But the other thing is this episode has to get 100 listens as well, and I have to get 100 followers on Instagram. So we got some stuff to happen. Everybody that wants to see this thing happen, you better start panhandling your grandma for...
You seem a little presumptuous, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. I mean... Because here's the thing, right? I know how big my collection is. Just like the first time I had this conversation when I first started MangaTube. And everybody's like, oh, I want to know. And I'm just like, I know you guys want to know. Sure, I want to know and everything. But god damn it, that's a lot of editing a video.
Well... I mean, you could do it really easily. Like, it's not going to take that long.
I know, but it's still long, and that
If the
in lies
manga
the problem.
if the manga sloth can do it, you can do it. He has like almost as much as you do.
Not even close.
It's close. It's
Not
close-ish.
even. I've only seen one person that even is in the same backyard as me.
If the omnibus collector like near mint conditions can do it, you can do it. So I mean, you just gotta have the time to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Cake Tins is probably the only person I've seen that's even close to what I
I don't
have.
know who that is.
Cake Tins?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
What?
Are they new or old?
Cake Tins is older. She's done stuff a lot. I think she mostly focused on shoujo for a while,
Oh,
and then like really started doing a lot. She's usually one of the people that pops up on my Instagram and stuff. Um, to tell you how old that is, I think we've been on friends on Instagram for a long time. And the
uh-huh.
other day, I looked because I had a recommendation for one of her videos popped up, so I clicked on it, and I was never even subscribed to her. So I was like, "Oh
Oh.
shit!" Now I feel like a crappy person.
See, I mean, it shows how much I pay attention to the manga tube nowadays, or even back then, or like how like small the manga tube circles were.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, her collection that she has that she did a video on is 5,500, but her actual collection is like almost 6,500.
Okay,
So,
that's a cool.
right?
Yeah.
But I think she's married, so that's why I was like, if me and you can be married.
Oh no, don't start that. That got you in trouble one time.
That's okay. Both of those people that aren't even in my life anymore. So, uh
anyways, what have you been up to, my friend? It's been a while since we've talked.
YouTube, being a daddy, an actual dad, perverts, okay?
Oh,
I
okay.
know after it came out of my mouth, I was like, somebody's gonna think like, I own whips and chains and shit. And I was like, oh crap. Hold on, let me specify this shit.
Ooh, daddy.
Getting back into reading, I think I've read I want to say I've read about 40 volumes of manga since last month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like getting back into YouTube, MangaTube, and
Uh-huh.
getting back into actually reading manga, it's really like meaningful, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there, and I was like, man, and I did a little video on it too on the YouTubes where I was talking about how I sat down and I really started thinking about it whenever I was going to pick it up again. I read my first
Yeah.
volume and I get done and I shut the book and I like got really pissed at myself and I was like, how dare you fucking let somebody take this enjoyment away from you?
Hmm.
So
Can
yeah,
I
it was
can I just add
what?
on to that?
Yeah,
Can I just add on to that? Because I 100% agree. Because as everybody knows, I went back to YouTube, and I for the past couple months I've been sporadically making videos,
right.
and I have to say, like, for like all the shit that happened to me with my YouTube channel and all the whole like investigation that happened because of one person who found my channel and said I did horrible things to people, which was untrue. Um, uh like getting back into YouTube, I thought it would
So
be
so you don't own a BDSM dungeon on the side.
no, I do not. I do not own a BDSM dungeon on the
Dang it!
side.
Myths about
No,
Otaku Mike
no.
I thought were
I
true.
don't. I don't. But
How many people are gonna do that now and be like, "Did you hear Otaku Mike owns a BDSM dungeon? Where's it at in Texas? I gotta go to it."
but like after all this shit that happened, which happened over a year ago now, almost a year, believe it's been. I don't remember the last time when we put out that episode, but I believe it's been a year. uh like that shit still affects me to this day, and I can't lie and not say that I don't think about it, I don't think about it every couple of days,
Yeah.
and like trying so hard to move past it and trying it's very hard to move past it because it was never resolved. Like I never
Right.
got a resolved from the person who accused me of these terrible crimes.
Right.
I like it's been like I want to make videos, but a part of me can't because I'm scared.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't let go of what happened to me. And I feel like that person won because they took that away from me for quite a while.
Right.
Even though that I've made some videos here and there.
Right.
Like
Well, and it's
it
just
just doesn't
a learning curve.
it just doesn't seem the same. Like I don't seem to have like the same I don't want to say vitriol, not vitriol, but like gumption or whatever for like making videos, the enthusiasm of making videos and stuff like
Maybe you
that.
haven't left long enough.
Maybe I haven't left long enough,
Yeah.
Who
Because
knows,
because the funny thing is, like, even though people are different, like
Yeah.
for me, it's really funny because like sure, like getting comments or likes or whatever, but none of those people talk to me on a regular basis. When I'm like making my video, I'm like, man, I hope Mike really enjoys this. And I'm like, oh man. And when you're like, all right, let me tell you what was wrong with it. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I got to improve on, But it's different in that way, Before we'll say we'll say YouTube BC. So YouTube BC, it was caring about what views I got, all this other stuff. And now it's just kind of like, did my friend enjoy it? I threw a lot of stuff out because I was like, okay, well, I got too much into that. I focused too much onto this. I did that. And I was like, but hey, now with YouTube 80, it's kind of like, oh man, if Mike enjoyed it, then I know I got a gold ticket sitting out there.
That's kind of one thing I do miss is like the interaction with people, like people commenting on my videos. Like I'll get likes and views, but like nobody really comments on my videos. So I wonder, like, are my videos worth commenting on? Like, I kind of like wonder that sometimes.
No, it's really weird. Like, I started reading Shibuya Goldfish and whatnot.
Or
And
I'll get like the weird like upsurge in like people watching certain videos. So like I got a really big upsurge in it was like what was that one where like can you sleep with the demi-human or something?
yes.
You remember that one? So I got
Yeah.
like a huge upsurge in that one on like last week. And I don't know why, but people keep asking people probably because they're a bunch of pervs, but people keep asking me, is there gonna be an anime for this? And I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
I feel like you should be a dick and be like, oh yeah, I'm actually those people actually are affiliates of mine, and I'm told in the year like 2027 that there will be an anime.
I was like, I have no fucking idea. I'm just the guy who makes videos. What do you think I know all this fucking information about a random comic I reviewed like 2 years ago?
Right?
It's weird,
Shoot, some of the cover art for that one's kind of weird too.
Oh yeah, like that one. Like maybe we'll have to talk about that one day. But like that one gets really fucking.
I
weird.
haven't read it yet.
You haven't? I've only read the first volume.
No, I did. I have started A Call Girl in Another World.
Yeah,
and it's really weird, like reading it, and then some of the other stuff we've read. I'm like, this shit seems really tame. I don't know why it's.
But it's
It's
weird
so
because,
far up
like,
there.
for the one with like the survive a night with a demon or whatever it's called, like later on in the volumes, like all the girls are getting like knocked up and pregnant, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go down this road to see where this goes.
You're like, do I have that kink or not?
I know, for sure, definitely for sure on that,
That's
But how?
okay. It was funny when we had D&D night the last time, and
Yeah.
I had one person, and it fits with this particular thing that we're talking about. And somebody had asked me like, they said something, and it really kind of like irritated me a little bit. And I said, "Well, you know what? We're not going to talk about everybody's Monster Girl obsessions in this room." Well, I have like six players. And somebody goes, "Well, I bet you don't know mine." And I started naming everybody's off. And they're like, "You son of a bitch.
Oh man,
How could you do that?" I said, "Hey, now it's free game. Everybody knows what's out there."
that's crazy. That is crazy. But how has it been for you coming back to MangaTube or to YouTube and creating
Um,
content in general?
Pretty good. I think it needed like a little kickstart because my like last 3 or 4 videos have all like jumped up a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, I mean
Mm.
one of them's at like 50, and then one of them's almost about to touch 70, and one of them is at 70.
Do you feel like you deserve more views?
Nah. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, as long as I have like the one view, like I kind of don't give a shit. But
Yeah. Is your number one
yeah,
fan?
if I ever find out you thumbs down on my videos, Mike, I will find you.
Oh, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go thumbs down it
I
right
will
now.
come find you.
I'm gonna go thumbs down your videos right now.
And right now, I know you're vulnerable in one spot, and I will definitely punch you there. You'll be like, "You bitch, don't do it."
Your number one fan, I'm pretty sure your number one fan, Justin, is happy to see you back.
Right. Well, I told him that he needed to make a video so that him and I could play off of each other like old times, and he hasn't done anything yet.
Oh, really? So sad.
Right. So I'm waiting on it. I am waiting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because whenever he does it, I'll totally jump on that boat. But the series I'm reading right now, though, I'm reading Tokyo Glory.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is probably the one thing that's really sad, though, is because I remember friends that were reading stuff like that, like Elios,
Yeah.
which doesn't go by Elios anymore, so you can't find it.
What did they
But
go by?
I can't remember.
It's not Flash Reads, is it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think
Oh.
they changed it again. But like I remember how much Elios is into Tokyo Ghoul and stuff, and like
Yeah.
being able to like really talk to them about it and other stuff like before. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one of the things I'm kind of thinking right now too. Like, does that involve like part of like the burnout sensation as well? Like, was it like trying to keep up with everybody doing it? Like, I know like there's a whole fear of missing out, like buying your crap.
Yeah.
Which I did almost experience that earlier this week. I was like, oh, I got to get some stuff, and I'm looking what's on my list to get, and I bought some stuff off of the Right Stuff birthday sale, and before I knew it, I had like $300 worth of stuff, and I was like, we're gonna take a lot of this off, okay?
There's a new series I want to try. I think it's like a Viz signature series.
Yeah,
It's called Loser Ranger. Have you seen this one?
I think so.
Where it's like a bad guy pretends to be like a Power Ranger, like I say Power Ranger, but like a Super Sentai Power Ranger person on a team, and he like I guess he like kills everybody or tries to be good. I'm not for sure what he does exactly, but it caught my interest because we don't get a lot of Super Sentai stuff.
Well, and I am trying to avoid looking at new stuff as of yet.
Yeah.
unless it's like another series that is like spawned off of something or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I already know what series I have, so I'm trying to get caught up on those before I get into other things.
You and me both. Like I am trying to get caught up so hard on series that I'm reading at the moment. Like I'm not even focused. That was like the only one that caught my interest, but like I'm not even focusing. Other than like I did get the new Record of Lodoss War manga
Yeah,
the other day. Like I picked that up just to give it a shot, because I like the anime.
I'm trying to
Uh
think. I think I have that one.
it's from Udon. It like just came out. Unless you have a
Oh
different.
no, I know. I'm thinking of Record of Grand Crest War.
No, this is Lodoss War. It's the one where it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like classic D&D fantasy type of thing.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's based on an actual D&D campaigns that were actually played.
Yeah,
Like the DM took such like thorough notes, detailed notes, he turned it into like a light novel series.
yeah,
And then it got turned into an anime back in like the 90s.
yeah. It
Like
sounds pretty cool.
yeah, we'll have to
I,
watch it one
I'll
day.
have to give it a try.
We'll have
have
to watch
you
the anime one day because the anime is like an OVA and there's like a TV show for it. It's pretty cool.
have you have you read this controversial manga yet? The Dirty Suits one.
No, what is that?
So supposedly it's like two brothers that uh joined like the Yakuza like back in the day,
Uh
and
huh.
then it jumps between that and like more recent day. And recent day like is where their suits are dirty, because they've
Uh
been there for a while. Yeah, it really kind of seems like Gungrave to me, but more modern day.
oh, really?
Yeah, without the zombies and stuff.
It just came out.
Yeah, I think it came out like last week or before.
Okay, I'll have to go check that one out or look that one up.
And there are a lot of people dying on that ship.
Like, is it bad?
Uh, from what I know, from what some people have told me, it is pretty bad.
Because I mean, I like Gungrave.
But there are plenty of people that are saying a lot of stuff. Now,
Uh
I've
huh.
only seen like some of the art for it,
Uh huh.
and one of the things that I heard was that they were going to try and see if like Shonen Jump would pick it up or Shueisha,
Okay.
and the art. That was one of the things I had a conversation about with somebody. I said it's not. I've done mangatube and own manga long enough or whatever that I can tell you what is a Shueisha standard and
Yeah.
what's not. And one of the things that they had was like the wording on a newspaper didn't bend with the newspaper.
Oh yeah.
And one of the cars was a little like wonky,
Uh huh.
and that's just me kind of glossing over it. Like, and that stuff can be fixed, but you also got to realize that if it goes to Shueisha, they're going to do it with an even finer tooth comb than I did.
I have to say, you
And
know what I am really excited for?
what?
I am really excited that fucking Trigun is getting a re-release.
Trigun Maximum?
Both of them, Trigun and Trigun Maximum.
Oh,
Like they're getting like the deluxe re-releases. Like the
that's
first,
cool.
like the first volume is going to be the Trigun stuff, and then and the next ones are going to be like Maximum.
Yeah.
Because the original Trigun's not that long.
No, it's only one book.
Yeah,
Well, it's one omnibus.
yeah, it's like 2 books.
So,
Yeah,
and then the maximum is 5 omnibuses.
I'm so excited for that. Like I never thought we would get that. Like that's one series that I'm gonna definitely like pick up or
Well, and
try to
it's
keep
weird,
up.
like hearing some of that because I already have it.
I
But
know, but like I can't get it because I don't want to. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars to go buy it when I can get it in this nice, pristine, oversized format. You know.
yeah,
So I'm just gonna I fucking waited years for this.
years,
You know, but
years.
I've been
Yeah,
on I went down a really big video game rabbit hole to the last couple weeks.
I'm done with you.
Why?
Because all my friends in like the last 2 weeks have messaged me, "Hey, have you heard about this game? How you done this? How you?
Oh, well,
You think you want to play this game with me?" And I'm like,
no. I'm not going to ask you to play a game with me. I'm not asking you to play a game with me whatsoever.
I
Uh,
totally
so
might want
last
to play a
week,
game.
so the last 2 weeks, I bought like basically every Assassin's Creed game because they were like 80% off. What?
I said, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, so I have the Ezio collection, which is like 3 games. I bought that. Then I got Assassin's Creed Origins, and then I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which came with Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Liberations because I bought the gold editions for those. And then I got Assassin's Creed Syndicate this week, Unity, and then the Black Flag. I'm only missing Assassin's Creed 1, I believe. And then I'll have all the mainline pseudo spin-offs unless you don't count Assassin's Creed Chronicles. So I've been diving into Assassin's Creed a lot lately. And I might do streams. I think I might do streams of the games and call it the
Well,
Ass Creed.
so hey, if you ever pick up the Assassin's Creed manga, maybe you should buy me a copy.
Oh wait, is there Assassin's Creed manga?
I heard there was.
Is there?
I heard there was like one
Oh
volume.
man. Oh man. I don't know. I don't think I'll go into the manga, but I'll play the fucking video games. Because I love those games back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
Well, not only that, but speaking of one of the quote unquote topics we were going to cover today about things dying besides your ass.
Thanks.
I know.
Thanks for letting everybody know I have 3 buttholes right now.
Hey, you were the one that did that. They just thought it was broken. You could have gotten hit by a door on that one.
I mean, just the top part is broken. The bottom part's not broken.
Hey, buddy, you overshared, so I wasn't the one that pulled the trigger and told everybody exactly what was going on. You just did.
I know.
You just did.
I know. I did it because it was funny.
Exactly. But did you also hear that supposedly manga collecting is dead?
Oh my god, yes, I did. I did hear about that. And I was like, what? Really? It is?
Did you hear manga was dead in general?
I heard manga was dead. The mangatube community is dead. Manga collecting is dead. And I was like, what? Really? If it's dead, why are y'all getting all these views on these manga dead videos, you know? And I was like, are we just upset that we're not getting like subscribers and a lot of views anymore? Is that what we're upset about?
Oh, other people? I guess so.
Because if we're upset about that, I mean, come down to my level where I get like 2,000 views a month. You know? I'm not even
there yet.
I don't even get like 1,000. I don't even break 1,000 on my manga hauls.
I get like 200 in a month, maybe.
So I was like, oh, the manga community is dead. And I was like, the manga community is not dead. The manga boom might be dead. Because we did have that big boom during a COVID, you know? And like, I've said this a lot. Like, I've always said this, like, manga and anime fans, whatever you're a fan of, you're usually a fan of it for like 3 to 4 years, maybe tops, you know? Then you're a fan of like the stuff that you've watched and stuff or read, and you kind of get out of it. Like that's a lot of how people are, to be honest. I don't think we need to get our pitchforks and, you know, worry about if the manga community is dead, because I don't think it's dead. I think it's kind of just, you know, the bubble is kind of popped a little bit and maybe people have gone to other avenues.
Well, and I don't think that. I think people are just looking at a few other people and they're assuming that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Like,
let's just face it: people that actually collect and put stuff out on media
uh-huh.
probably make up maybe 40 or 30% of actual all people.
Yeah, and like I gotta be honest, like
So if
mangatube.
one person does it, how can you really say anything about that? You know,
I mean, I don't think we should be worried whatsoever that mangatube is dying or YouTube is dying. If you to be honest, like people just get bored of watching people's shit sometimes, and they move
that
on to other people.
that's true.
You
That's
know?
very true. Yeah, that's why going forward, like with my channel, I was sitting there thinking, like, unless it's like a really big, juicy topic, like 15-20 minutes, like tops.
Well,
You know, if I can
I
pull that
gotta be
off.
honest. Like, go. Sorry, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I mean, just record time,
Yeah.
15-20 minutes. Because, the other thing is, like, I call it bluey time.
Uh huh.
I think about it because whenever I have to explain it to my kid, like how long something's going to take, I'll say, well, that's worth like 2 episodes of Bluey or something.
Yeah.
If it's going to do 2 or 3 episodes, like people can sit there and watch that
Yeah.
for that amount of time. But to sit there and say, hey, it's going to be like, you know, 10, 11, 12 episodes of Bluey or whatever, then you're sitting there like, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. I mean, people move on. People find new creators, and sometimes they come back. Stuff like that. So I don't think MangaTube is dead. And MangaTube's, I've said this before, MangaTube is a lot bigger than what we think it is. To be honest, like it's not just those like 20 to 30 creators. Like there
Yeah,
are hundreds of creators out there who do manga content or anime content.
right.
Like it's just a fact. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like getting worried or having a fucking clickbait video. This reminds me a lot of the this reminds me this reminds me a lot of, remember when we had the manga tube tier list thing?
Oh God.
That's what it
Let's
reminds.
not talk about that. That was stupid as
It
hell.
was stupid. I tried to go look him up the other day, the guy who made that, and I can't
Yeah,
find his channel anywhere. Like,
dead.
I think he might have deleted his channel. But anyways, like it reminds me
Dead.
of that, how oh, manga halls are toxic. We can't have manga hall videos anymore. Or I'm not going to make manga hall videos because they're boring. I want to do other things. Well, I mean, people have this weird obsession with watching people like buy shit, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
like,
Well, and here's the thing though with that, if I can make an analogy of it, I feel like what a lot of people are seeing is they're going, "Oh, hey, we're a bunch of piranhas in the pond, right?"
yeah,
And the guy on a boat that's holding a chicken leg in the water, and we all got to get a bite of that chicken leg, right?
yeah.
And that's what they're all thinking. While with me and possibly with you and some other people, I'm over like by the banks of the river and a full cow just walked in and I'm like, huh, why would I go for such easy target as that and try and be like, hey,
Well,
watch me, please, do this when I can take whatever bite out of a cow and pick a different topic to cover.
I feel like
Just to
honestly,
watch.
like those topics really, I feel like are only like a flash in the pan, to be honest. And like the real, I feel like the real meat and potatoes is like your review of talking about said manga. I feel
That's
like
true.
I feel like those are like the meat and potatoes, because those are all the videos. Those are all those videos that I when I did like a manga first impressions or a manga review. Like those are the ones that got the clicks and the views, and they still
This
get the
is
clicks and the
true.
reviews. Being worried about the value of my fucking manga uh, doesn't get me fucking views, because that's just stupid. I feel like, to be honest.
Very, very true.
just
Very
like
true.
complaining just like complaining about, like, what we were going to talk about next, manga being dead. Well, I hate to tell you this, but like,
Wait, I wasn't done on the other subject yet.
okay, go ahead.
So, what did you think about the title of my last video?
It was long.
It was, you know why I did that?
Why?
It was supposed to be a tribute to a bunch of my favorite series, like that time I got reincarnated as a slime, or is it wrong to pick a girl up in a dungeon, or other things like that. That's why I named it so long. I was like, man, I don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, man, people talk about the stupidest things when I made that video. So that's why I was like, I stopped doing MangaTube for 2 years and I still have the biggest collection. I was like, we're just going to play off of what I enjoy, which is series like that have the weirdest, craziest, or like the one we already talked about. Can you save the world to wake up next to a demi-human or a demi-girl or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, and so I did that, and like I said, like it's gotten all these views and stuff on it. I mean, not as much as people that have been established, but
wait, what's established? Tell me what about that. What do you mean established? Like,
established like on a regular timeline of publishing stuff and doing stuff and putting out. Like it'll take a little while to get back to that point because right now I'm almost starting out green again.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm a little above green because since I came back, because I mean, videos hitting 50 and 70 views, like when I first started in AD or whatever, or BC. I mean, it was like to get 20 views was like momentous.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So
I still remember when I got 40 subscribers. And I was like, what the fuck? 40 people want to watch me? I was like, that's insane.
Well, I did lose 2 people, so I was like,
oh
yes.
man.
And it's so weird doing the AD thing now, because when people unsubscribe, I'm like, yes, let's see if we can get back down to 0 almost. Come on, bring it. Because I'm like, if you don't want to sit there and watch my video anyway, and I'm putting out content that I enjoy and whatnot, and then other people that put out, I mean, not gonna lie, but that's one of the things that really gets me now is there's a lot of people that I watch, and you can just like tell it on their face now, and I guess it's because of doing it before, but some of it's just so fake, like they put on the smile and you can tell like, oh my god, I'm covering the subject, but it's so fucking bored. I'm being my own hype man to let you guys feel like I'm okay. In reality, like they're having the most boring fucking time recording their own videos, and that's something I was like, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. But speaking of like quote manga dying or whatever, like things have ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Like we hit a big boom period where there was a lot of people collecting manga like the last year, and if it drops down, it drops down. It's not a bad fucking thing.
Well, and that's not to say that we actually know that or not.
It's true. Like we don't. It's right. I feel like it's kind of speculating, unless people are going off like the prices of like what eBay stuff is going for or whatever, or people selling off their collections. Like, did you see that whole thing on Twitter? I mean, I don't use Twitter, but I happen to see it.
But if you go off of pricing or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. That just means like, hey, we sold all of our volumes of Naruto, and now everybody has a fucking, thing of Naruto. So how are we going to charge the same amount to get other people that don't have as much money to buy it?
Did you see that thing on Twitter where the guy, or it was like on a Reddit post or something, where the guy posted his collection? It was a really big collection. And he was like, I have all this manga, but I don't really have time to read it. And either people were like attacking him or people were like on his side, like, it's okay, read what you can type of thing. Or like, oh, he's keeping all this manga for people and people can't get their hands on so-and-so title because this fucker has all of it, Did you see that?
Why does that matter?
I don't know why it matters, but the manga community made it a thing.
I'm going to ASMR this for you real quick. Okay, you ready? I guess because I own the entirety of Ultimate Muscle, then plebes can't go out and buy their own fucking copies because my one volume of everything for the entire series is just keeping them dead in the water where they can't buy it.
But when you looked at it, like it was like all like stuff you could like commonly buy.
No shit.
So like it wasn't even like
No
rare
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
And people were like upset about this. Like he has this like oh, you're wasting your money because you're not reading it, you know, blah blah blah. In reality, it doesn't matter who the fuck or what the fuck, you know, somebody is
Well,
you spend their money on.
let me just throw this out for most of the people listening about that topic.
Yeah.
You ever know any celebrity that has like a bajillion like Ferraris or something like that?
Yeah.
Do you really think they can drive that many all at once?
No.
So you want to complain about somebody having a $10, $12, $15 volume of manga that they're not reading that's on their shelves, and then not say anything about, like, I don't know, Jay Leno that has like one of every car in existence?
Yeah. It
You
was just
know, like
it, wa-
that's kind of a poor and stupid thing to go after.
it was kind of like, are we like so hard up on topics that we have to go for this, you know? Like
Right. Well,
just
and secretly, that's kind of what that other video that I posted
yeah.
was for.
Like let's
Because
just talk about manga. Let's not talk about what the fuck somebody has.
whenever I stopped doing mangatube and stopped reading everything, should I
Yeah.
have just like sold off everything and then started over from scratch?
Yes.
I mean, you know, like, hello, who was I keeping from that? Not to mention that, but let's go back to Ultimate Muscle for a second. I'm done, and then I'm done like tooting this fucking horn, because Ultimate
Okay.
Muscle obviously is a manga dick swinging thing. You know, I'm sitting here doing the fucking helicopter in your face.
Yeah.
Um, I
Helicopter,
mean,
helicopter.
Jesus Christ, you're gonna make me forget what I was gonna say. You know, but like stuff like that, like, you know, do you throw that back out there like that or whatever,
Yeah.
knowing like fucking damn well that there are plenty of people out there, if I was gonna sell it as a whole, that can't even fucking afford it?
Yeah, no, I get it. I
You
get it.
know, like, you know, and that's the thing. I really feel like, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of flack back from this or whatever, but like a lot of people that make those accusations or whatnot, I think are probably still in like the child phase of their life.
Yeah.
And not to say like they're children, you know, age wise, because there are some people that are 14 that are more adult than most adults. And there are people that are 50 years old that are, you know, man babies.
Yeah.
But you know, in whatever part of their childness that they still have or are in on those pieces, you know, they're not grown up enough to be like, hey, you know, I could have that much too if I fucking worked for it.
True. True. And it's like the haves and the have-nots almost
Right.
in that
One,
aspect.
I just love whenever people want to use their words, because you know, words are a dime a dozen basically, versus like actually doing something and putting their hand out and having like something. I
Do you,
mean, you know, even though this person has that manga,
s-
at some point they still had to work to get that stuff. And
speaking
people that don't have that, I don't think you should have a seat at the table to actually talk about
speaking of that, do you remember back in the day when people would like
it.
randomly like
Hold on.
mess
I need you to say this like an old man.
why? Okay, hold on, hold on.
You know,
Do
back in
you
my day.
do you remember back in the day when we had to do manga tube in the snow barefoot up and down, walk up and down the stairs, you know, in the snow to get the manga, you know. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Petridge Farms remembers.
But do you remember when, like you would get like just fuck it? We like I would get them too, but like random messages like, "Oh, how do you get all that manga? Where do you get all that manga from? Can I have some of your manga? Can you send it to me for free?"
Yes, I do remember those.
I fucking hate those.
I still probably think that we'll probably get them at some point again. So
Yeah. Oh God, I hope not. I fucking hope not, because, ugh, those are like fucking weird.
Please, sir, can you send me your manga?
Please, sir, can I have this manga?
Right?
Because you're rich and you have money.
No,
Okay.
I just work. I just work hard.
Yeah. Why am I have money and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I have money.
Hey, but like if we ever wanted to like sell off all of our collections, and move to Cuba, I mean, we'd totally be like fucking like bazillionaires.
True. True.
So
But
yeah,
yeah, I have nothing fucking else to talk about, to be honest.
what we got to talk about manga being dead.
I mean, manga is dead. Manga is dead. No more manga.
Manga's dead.
Manga is dead.
No,
Manga
no,
is dead. We can't
it
get it
can't be
anymore.
dead. It can't be dead.
It's dead.
Well, I will say on that right stuff side, I did pick up my first new series though, just
Yeah.
because it was on the sale for me to actually buy.
Uh-huh.
And so I decided like not only like getting caught up on like Blood on the Tracks and stuff, because
Yeah.
it's only whatever they had out for the birthday sale.
Yeah.
Because I got like that and Plus Size Elf because I was missing like one volume.
Did you know
Um,
they're re-releasing Plus Size Elf because apparently it's so out of print, and they're re-releasing it with new content.
well, there's also a new one that's coming out called
Yeah,
Plus Size Elf something.
it's like Shin Plus Size Elf or something like that. Yeah, so they're re-releasing
It's
the old series.
Plus Size Elf Second Helping.
Yeah, they're re-releasing the old series with new content in those books. And I'm like, man,
Is that what the Second Helping stuff is?
No, the second helping stuff is a whole another thing. Like,
It's like,
so
oh,
it's a whole nother series after Plus Size Elf. But they're
okay.
re-releasing Plus Size Elf with like new covers, but they're also putting like extra stuff in those new releases. Apparently.
Well, that's bullshit. I don't want to buy those. I already have stuff.
Well, I sold mine off, so I got to go rebuy them. Because I went to go look for Plus Size Elf, and I was like, I can't afford this anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you one of the stupidest things. So I have a series called Zozo Zombie,
Yeah.
which like stopped coming out like over a year ago, and it's like a children's manga.
Yeah.
And I had already like started collecting it, so I was like, "Oh well, I'll get some more of it or whatever. I'll finish out the series because it's also a good one whenever like your kid starts to read a little bit, like they can
Yeah.
get into it by reading that." And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it or whatever on Right Stuff, and Right Stuff no longer carries it except for like one volume, like volume 2.
Did you check
And
Amazon?
so I'm looking. It's on Amazon. Barnes and Noble has it. Like everywhere else has it. I'm like, this is a Shonen Jump title. How do they not have it on Right Stuff anymore?
Yeah.
But I'm short like 4 volumes for that series.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I gotta buy the rest of these.
That's crazy.
But no, the new series that I bought though is Beauty and the Feast. So
yeah.
I got like volumes 1 through 8 of that. And I had to kind of like question myself and said, okay, is this FOMO or do you really want this? And I said, it's food manga. I really want this. And I was like, let's get it.
It was FOMO for me. I remember picking up the first volume of that. It was FOMO definitely for me.
Well, so if it's like isekai or a food manga, like those are usually my favorite ones. So it's not really that big of a deal to pick them up. Now some of the other stuff that I do pick up on a whim, some of that is probably, well, I don't even know if it's FOMO in that. It's just not like.
Let me ask you.
What?
Are you caught up on your Tales of Wedding Rings?
I am short like 1 volume.
Do you get number 11?
I think that's the one I'm missing.
Okay, that one just came out.
Either volume 11 or volume 10, one of those two.
Yeah.
But
I was just curious.
that's one of the other problems I'm having though too, is because like So in my house, I have like 4 different areas. I'm trying to keep manga in different places. And so some of the stuff I'm also trying to finish reading that I know is completed so that I can
Uh-huh.
put it in our quote unquote sewing room.
Yeah.
That way it can go in there and it can be out of the way and whatnot. Well, then I have a shelf downstairs that's in my apartment area that I have a shelf of stuff that is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have a shelf of stuff that is stuff I haven't even started yet, like any of the series.
Yeah.
And then I have another one that I'm trying to do of series that like mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like Suikoden, No Longer Human, like other ones like that. And jeez, that's a pain in the ass because it's like, hey, you got this stuff, but you don't have enough room to put stuff everywhere that you need to.
I bet. Yeah.
So the solution turns into, well, what do I have to do? Well, you got to read. You got to read so that you get space for everything else to move everything else that you have read upstairs. I'm just like,
That's
it's a
like the
pain in the
biggest
ass.
dilemma ever when it comes to collecting.
It is. It is. And that's another thing I will say that has become kind of a personal tiff for me, which kind of goes with what we were talking about the guy not reading his stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really care if you state like, hey, you're a collector, or hey, this is a library, I'm trying to read through this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you say I'm just using it as shelf candy, you know, I want to take selfies and there's statues around them and other stuff like that, you know, okay, then you're using it, you know, for that purpose. You're just looking at it. But people that are like have libraries and whatnot, to turn around and like even say like you have a bunch of stuff or whatever, and then to say, hey, I am an avid reader, and then you can't like say about what percentage you have read of your collection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like, that's kind of a bummer because that just means you're buying,
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, I expect at some point that I'm gonna have all my shit finished reading, you know, but
No, I get it.
who knows.
Yeah. I totally get it. But you want to wrap up this episode?
Yeah, so wrap
All
it
right.
before you tap it. Remember, don't play on the edge of the cool pool, kids. It's always Adult Swim. And as always, remember, see you next Tuesday. I was like sitting there like, what do we usually say? Something about Tuesday.
That was a long pause.
I know, I forgot. Like I blipped.
Yeah, but we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Peace out. Stay safe.
Buttercup.
Listen to more Otakuology.
Engine Grace.